Hello everyone, I'm Lee Hogan and welcome to MXTV. And joining me after his week's holiday in the Bahamas, Brendan Bell. Welcome, Bell. You're looking nice and tan.
Thanks, Hank. Thanks very much. Unfortunately, yes, I did have to miss last week, but it's great to be back, and especially tonight as we take you behind the scenes and into the private world of the 2011 AMA Supercross champion, Ryan Villopoto. It's not something that RV does often, but tonight we'll be at his California home, chatting to him about his life, his career, and his close ties to his family, and what it's taken to get him to the very top of this sport. That's not all though, as Macca's back with another Blokes and their bikes. And in our bike review, we'll be back on the bitumen, where we put the Suzuki DR650SE through its paces. It's going to be huge, Hags, and I tell you what, the Ryan Villopoto exclusive is one that the race fan is not going to want to miss, is it?
No, you're not wrong, mate. It's a great little insight, that's for sure. But that's not all we've got, because first up tonight, we have a chat with young rising star Blake Baggett. Now, Blake's been tearing it up recently on his pro circuit Kawasaki, and after a terrific Supercross season, he's currently right up there at the top of the pack in the AMA Lights class. And Blake was happy enough to have a chat with us earlier on in the year.
With me now is one of the young and up-and-coming stars of the motocross scene. It's Blake Baggett. Blake, welcome to MXTV, mate.
Thanks, it's good to be here.
Now, mate, first year on pro circuit, only 2 years into seniors. How are you handling it?
It's good. I mean, definitely having a dream come true to be able to ride here and to be able to race and ride for Mitch Payton on the Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki. I mean, what else can you ask for?
You've been flying around lately, and I've been watching you around the test track. What is it that's changed from last year to this year, do you think?
I built up some confidence towards the end of the year, and I'm just trying to carry it in. And the team has been great. You know, it really uplifts you and brings you to the top. And Alden Baker is my trainer, and I think that's helped a lot. And we should be able to get a few wins in this year.
Now, Mitch Payton, he's known as the absolute guru of the sport. What is it that you've learned from Mitch that you think, wow, this is really going to help me later on in life?
You know, Mitch, he doesn't do anything halfway. If he's going to do it, he's going to do it all the way. And I mean, he's got the best of the best. And just the team when you're there, you know, everything about it from the day-to-day to going to the weekends is, you know, it just helps you bring your confidence, and they really don't mess around over there.
What about with the bikes? Can you come back from practice at a Supercross race and say, hey, I want to change the front tyre? Does Mitch say, nah, stick with that tyre, that's it, and we're not changing it?
No, I mean, everybody says that he's kind of hard and tough, but I mean, you know, if you put in the work and you do the job that he wants you to do, which is win, I mean, you can do anything you want. He's really, really easygoing, really good to work with, and whatever the rider wants, the rider will get.
When you were riding 80s and 65s, who was your idol?
Definitely when I was riding the 80s and 60s, Ryan Villopoto was for sure my idol. He actually lived at my house for a few years, and think of him as my older brother, so I'd have to say him, and just always looked up to him and watched what he's done and try to learn from him.
Is that going to make it hard in the next year or two, lining up against him and actually having to beat him?
I don't know, I haven't even really thought about that. You know, I practice with him almost every day, and we'll just have to see when it comes down to that time, but I'm sure we'll still be friends and still look up to him as my bigger brother, even if I have to race him in a few years.
You won't go letting his tyres down just in practice a little bit, just so he doesn't make triples and stuff. Just mess with his head a bit.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we'll have fun with it.
It was your birthday yesterday, you only turned 19. A lot of kids out there watching, when they turn 19, it's a ticket to go and party. Tell us, for a professional racer, what happens on your birthday and how much sacrifice it is to be a professional racer.
A typical 19-year-old go out and hang out, but my birthday yesterday, I got up, then be at the track, put in some laps as you guys were there. So I got to celebrate my birthday with you guys though, so that was cool.
What about Alden? Did he let you have a birthday cake or no birthday cake?
No birthday cake, he didn't let me eat anything different.
There's obviously a lot of sacrifice that goes into what you do, mate. For the kids out there that want to be pro riders, what's the key word for them?
People look at it and say that, you know, I can do it and everything, and anybody can do it. You just got to have the heart and put in everything you can, you know. You can't hold back anything. Just work as hard as you can, put it out, and there's a few sacrifices, but in the long run, you know, this is a good life to live, and it's a dream.
Yeah, big thanks to Blake there, and we certainly hope to keep an eye on his results as the year progresses. Now, Macca's been back to his old tricks again. Now let's take a look at his latest instalment of Blokes and Their Bikes.
G'day everyone, Macca here again. Today I'm at Chris Donuzzo's house. We're going to take a look at a classic bike. It's a 1980 model, CR250. Let's go and check it out. G'day Chris.
Hey Macca.
How you going, mate?
Good man, how are you?
Good, hey, good to see you.
You
mate,
too.
what are you up to?
Oh, just mucking around with me late model motocross.
Well, late model stuff is not what we're interested in. We're actually here to see your 1980 model CR250.
Just in the shed, Macca, come over.
No worries. So mate, this is the 1980 model CR250.
Here she is.
What's so special about this bike?
Well, it's the last of that range. It's the last air-cooled twin-shock Honda motocross ever made.
Yep.
So the model that came out after this was water-cooled, so I don't think they made a lot of them.
Right.
So that being the case, they're a little bit rarer.
I must admit, I haven't seen too many CR250s around, RAs anyway, out on the racetrack or anything like that. Now, I just noticed one thing, of all these years that Honda have been putting these things together, mate, they've got the Kickstarter on the wrong side.
They have, that's probably the only failing. But other than that, they're a really good motorbike, Macca.
Now in 1978, Honda built their first CR250 long travel bike. In 1979, they refined it. And in 1980, they made this and they refined it even further. So you've ridden the 79, 78s. Do you feel this is so much better than the other two?
There's a lot of conjecture about which is faster and which is better. Probably the 79 was probably a little bit better because it's a bit quicker, but this is a much better behaved motorbike. When you sit on the 79, you feel like it's going to hurt you. When you sit on this one, it's going to actually take you for a ride. So I can ride this faster for a longer period of time than I can for the 79.
Okay.
And it's a much more docile motorbike. Probably not quite as fast in a straight line, but certainly around a motocross track, as good if not better than the 79. It was in pretty good nick when we first got it, but I put a nice pipe on it, nice swing arm from America and a nice front end on it, and I got a set of Olin shockers off a 1978 model Husqvarna and adapted those to fit and just rebuilt it from the bearings out and pretty much ended up with a good thing.
These are pretty special box factory forks from America, which are very, very hard to get. How did you come across the forks?
There was a guy that was racing and he had these forks and he wouldn't sell them to me, so I bought the entire motorbike and I said to my wife, listen Dale, I'll just buy the bike, I'll take the forks out of it, I'll put my forks in and I'll sell the other bike straight away. Well, 5 or 6 years later, it was still sitting in the shed with the other forks in it. So that's how I came about them, and they were probably one of the best things I bought. The standard fork's 39mm in diameter. These are 43mm in diameter. So there's a lot less flex backwards and forwards. They're a little bit longer travel, and they're just a lot more sturdy. So I find that probably because of my weight, they seem to make the bike track a bit better. And they're certainly a little bit better in the way they operate.
Now, I noticed looking around, you've got some sidecar pictures out there. Tell us a bit of a history about you riding sidecars. You're a passenger. Have you still got all your marbles or what's going on?
That's right. No, well, it's probably arguable whether I ever started with all of them, Macca. My best mate and I were racing motocross. He and I had been doing some motocross sidecar. He was racing and I was helping him practice and said, let's give this a shot. We bought the best frame that was made, and in 1980 it cost us $12,000.
Wow.
Cost us $6,000 each. But it weighed 200 kilograms, so they were very, very fast.
Okay.
So it just sort of fell to me to be the passenger, but then one day I was given the opportunity to ride, and these things had a dry clutch that were worth a lot of money anyway. I blew the clutch up, and then from then on,
that was it.
That was it. I was always the passenger from then on, yeah.
Mate, back to the CR, how much did the bike actually cost you? Your wife probably won't want to hear this.
Originally it cost me $5,000.
Right.
Because it was in pretty good nick and it was very rare when we bought it.
Yep.
And I really haven't kept track of how much it's
you don't
cost.
Want to, do you, really?
Not really, because it's a hobby, I love it, and in the scheme of things, racing these things is really, really cheap.
Yeah. Mate, it's been great talking to you. Thanks very much for showing us your shed.
Thanks for coming around.
No worries, mate. Okay, that wraps it up for this week. But remember, if it's classic, it's fantastic.
Welcome back to MXTV. Now, Ryan Villopoto is a household name in the sport of motocross. He's one of the fastest riders on the planet on a dirt bike, but he's also one of the most guarded when it comes to the media. In an era where some of his main competitors are featuring in their own reality TV show, RV has decided to keep his private life very private. And he was kind enough to open up to us in this MXTV exclusive.
Well, we're lucky enough to be joined by one of the fastest riders in the world on a dirt bike. Of course, it's Kawasaki's Ryan Villopoto. Ryan, thank you very much for inviting us.
Should be good hanging out, see what's going on down under.
Tell us how you got started in racing and when you started racing.
Well, my dad got me started, but my grandpa got my dad started.
Ryan was the third generation of racing. I raced, and then his father raced. Nobody ever thought that this was going to go this far with Ryan.
Kind of just had the racing family, and I started riding like about 4, and I just had a PW50 for like 6 months, and then it went straight to the 60. Started racing when I was 5 and just kind of took it from there. We didn't actually start doing amateur nationals till I was like 11.
And he was beating everybody, including when we used to go to local races. They used to put him in with the fast guys, the grown-ups, so we'd have competition.
The riding part was pretty easy, but as I got a little bit older, I mean, you don't have to train when you're 10, 11, 12, even 13. I mean, you got to start training once you start hitting, 16, 17, 18. Up until then, you just ride. It's as serious as you want to take it as a kid. I mean, as once I was littler, doing the big jumps on the 80 or the 60 or whatever, those are always scary. So if something I wasn't jumping, Dad would always push me into jumping it. I mean, he would never push me into something that he knew I couldn't jump. He knew that I could jump everything that he pushed me into jumping. It was just that obviously me just getting up there and finally going and doing it, forgetting that I was scared about it. You see a lot of dads now that just push their kids into, even on 60s, 50s that are so hard on them. It's like they're gonna be over it by the time they're, 15. They're gonna hang the boots up because by the time they are able to turn pro, they're gonna be over it.
Was there a defining moment when you went, you know what, I'm going to be a professional and do this as a pro, or what?
No, I mean, not really. My dad would just always say, you can make a lot of money at this if you're good. I just kept doing decent. I mean, I was a top amateur, but never like winning, just like race after race after race. I mean, Alessi won 9 times out of 10. I think I beat him just a few times out of the whole career that we raced against each other. And he was like, you can be something this, if you work hard and this and that, and you're always like, yeah, and just keep on going and riding and doing that, and it just kind of went from there,
Are you out there supporting him?
I'm out there supporting him all the way. His father got him where he's at, and I was there too. And as long as he's racing, I want to be there and watch him.
And do you get worried at all when you ride?
Yeah, naturally I get worried. And me and my wife and the entire family never stop praying for all of them out there.
From when you were an amateur to now being a professional rider, what's really changed through those times?
I've stayed pretty well grounded. Things have gotten bigger and better, but I mean, I try to keep it the same and not get ahead of myself. I still, really like to go home, which is Washington State. A lot of our family's still up there. I'm a resident of Florida now. We live there and also have the house here in California that I bought a couple years ago, and it didn't look like this. We remodeled it, put the grass in, all the palm trees, and there's also a track in the backyard I can ride. It really helps when the rain blows in and the Cowie track is too wet to ride. I can ride here.
For a footballer, they will get maybe 6 weeks of the year off where they do absolutely nothing. How many weeks of the year would you get off, as in you don't do anything?
Yeah, that's a problem with our sport, is there's really no off time, and to be as sharp as you need to be, you have to ride all the time and be in shape, We're either traveling or at the races or training and riding. So I guess our sport's really, overlooked. A lot of people don't see what it takes to go racing as a rider. It's like, yeah, we have our team and everything, but as soon as we get into the gate, it's a one-man show.
And you're only as good as your last race.
Exactly, so it's kind of frustrating because the only thing that's gonna really make our sport get bigger is TV coverage and things like that. And, we were up here and now we're back, we've come back, quite a bit, so we're gonna have to work our way back up the totem pole because it's growing, but slowly. Everybody on the outside looks like it's, like these rock stars. And I take it as that's what they look at, like football, baseball, rappers, singers, whatever, Even racing some of the car stuff isn't as physical as our sport. That's why people can race NASCAR for so long. That's why people can play basketball for so long. Football, their age is a lot higher than ours. I'm sure there's a ton of guys out there that would like to retire at, 26, 27, 28, but, they can't. I look at it as a job, not something that I just absolutely love to go do, because there's days that I would rather not ride or rather not train or whatever. I mean, yes, it's fun to win, and that's the great feeling about it, but it's the week-to-week and the back-to-back days of training that it becomes a job. But it's what I grew up doing. It's the only thing I know.
Ryan, you have an unbelievably close relationship with your grandfather, and you seem like you have a lot of fun with him as well. Tell us some of the things that you've done to him.
Any chance I get, I try to wind him up.
I think you do, don't you?
Oh yeah, it just fires them all up. And now it doesn't matter if it's the economy or, you know, what it is. I mean, the economy's a good one. It turns a switch on real quick.
He never stops teasing me. He's been very smart with his money. He doesn't throw it away. And being an automobile mechanic all my life and having used car lots, and an automobile is one of the biggest wastes of money that I can think of.
We told him we just went out and bought one of those new Porsche Panameras. Told him it was $120,000, and oh yeah, that sent him through the roof.
You got to have very thick skin to be in this family.
Tell us about when they try to sell your car.
That was not fun. I tried to forget that, and so he got me by taking my car and putting it out the front gate at a racetrack with a $100 price tag on it. And I'm trying to watch the races, and the phone keeps ringing, and these people saying, we want to buy your car, and I don't know what they're talking about. And I got very upset because I was trying to watch Ryan race, and I don't want anything interfering with me watching him to race. So that's why it was so bad and tough on me.
A couple of years ago, you were coming out to Australia to race. It never eventuated. Why?
Well, I mean, obviously everybody knew I broke my tib and fib, but also right below where I broke my tib and fib, it broke both ankle bones. They did 3 surgeries, and they just basically rebuilt the lower part of my leg with metal and screws and things like that. And obviously our main goal is our Supercross series and outdoors. And I did the deal to come down to Australia and get some racing in if all was going well. And once it got a little bit closer and, you know, we started looking at how much time we're gonna miss of actual training and riding here in the States, we knew it wasn't gonna be good for our series. And also I was still dealing with, you know, a little bit of pain in my leg, just getting used to riding again with the metal in there. I mean, it's still probably almost double the size of my other ankle area. I mean, I'd like to go race some GP stuff and just, you know, give that a go. I've been to Italy, England, twice now for Moto Nation, so get to see the world a little bit. I mean, hopefully we can maybe get something done next year.
All right, mate. Well, good luck for the season, mate. All the best.
All right, thank you guys.
In this week's product review, we take a look at the 2011 Cube Sting Super HPC Pro. This full suspension lightweight bike is designed and developed exclusively by Cube for the serious mountain biker. This bike has an incredible 120 mils of travel in a fully active package without disturbing bobbing or pedal pogo. And the dual trail control, or the DTC rear suspension, allows finer control of spring rate curves and suspension characteristics. A super light, stiff, high performance composite carbon frame contains high quality carbon fibres and matrices. And the advanced twin mould process is also exclusive to Cube. The most amazing thing is, considering the bike's strength, is that it comes in at an unbelievable weight of under 12 kilos. Now for a full suspension mountain bike, that's light. All the components offered on the Cube Sting Super HPC are top notch. And as for the finished product, well, just take a look for yourself. Who wouldn't want to be seen riding a bike this trick? The Cube Sting Super HPC is the perfect bike for the racer or mountain bike rider. So to get your hands on one, just go to your local bicycle store.
Yeah, another great product there. Absolutely perfect for any rider trying to get into shape. All right, well, it's time for this week's bike review. Let's take a look.
This week in our MXTV bike review, we take a look at the versatile Suzuki DR650SE. The DR650SE is the preferred ride of adventure riders across the globe, with a 644cc 4-stroke air-cooled engine featuring Suzuki composite electrochemical material coated cylinders to minimise wear that gives the DR650SE impressive low to mid-range torque and reliable no-fuss go-anywhere power. The powerful lightweight engine is accompanied by an electric starter and 5-speed transmissions, plus the DR650SE's lightweight frame and long travel suspension with 260mm of wheel travel will tame the toughest terrain. Backed by a 2-year unlimited kilometre warranty, the bike offers the versatility of hitting the highways or tearing it up on the dirt without compromise on either surface. The DR650 is available in Australia now, and for a competitive quote on your fire and theft insurance, contact QBE Insurance, the motorcycle insurance specialists. Okay, let's see what Jamie and our semi-regular tester Belly have to say about the bike.
Well, when Suzuki first told us we were going to get the DR650, I was sort of a little bit taken back because I've never actually ridden a DR.
The first thing you're going to notice about the DR650 is it's got a lot of travel. You can get off the road, you can get over some of the larger bumps.
If you were going to go further in the bush, which I think this bike can do because it's got enough travel, I would put a bit more of a dirt bike tyre on it.
It's a 650, it's not going to rip your arms off, it's quite mellow. It does pick up speed, you'd be able to cruise on this thing. Top end has got, I think it's overgeared to be quite honest, but you know, we're not going to push it too hard.
It has just a basic speedo, which is quite funny coming from modern bikes that have digital speedos and then looking down at this speedo, it looks like an old push bike speedo. It's quite funny watching it, but it tells you what you need to know, the speed you're going and how many Ks you're doing. It comes with some great things. The handguards on it are quite large, so they do stop a lot of the wind, so that's good. It's very comfortable to sit on. It's quite a small bike, and again, I love small bikes.
I did find that the ergos on it were a little bit cramped for me. It just puts you a little bit out of your comfort zone.
The DR650 is a no-frills dual-purpose bike. It really can do both things. I don't think you're going to have a problem. The rack on it and the way that it steers is quite comfortable, and it would handle a little bit of jolting and jarring, no worries.
This thing has got the strongest pillion handles on it I've ever seen, and they look good, they're neat, they're small, but they are connected to the bike. No one's going to fall off. It's great, you know, you get what you pay for. It's a safe, comfortable bike from a beginner right through. You know, it's well targeted for a lot of people.
The thing I love about this bike is value for money. If you want to go out and have a ride on the road, use it as a commuter to work and back, but then on the weekends, if you want to take off and go for a ride out in the bush and do some camping, I think this thing will handle it, no worries. Put the backpack on and away you go.
Yeah, good stuff from you boys there, Belly. And we've only 2 weeks to go with our big MXTV competition. We are getting so close to announcing who our big winner is, aren't we, Belly?
We certainly are, mate, that's for sure. But the good news is there's still time for you to get your entries in. So let's have a look and see how you can win.
This year on MXTV, thanks to KTM and bikesales.com.au, you get the chance to be one of the first people in the world to win a revolutionary new KTM 350 EXCF. The bike that's ready to turn the enduro world upside down. The revolutionary new 350 EXCF is brand spanking new and one of the most anticipated releases ever in the enduro world. With a lightweight chrome moly chassis, modern bodywork and a new PDS rear suspension, combined with the compact and powerful new 350 EXCF engine, this bike is the ultimate for any real enduro enthusiast. The prize also comes with a complete set of riding gear from Fox Clothing, a handy Kinchrome dirt bike toolkit, and a fantastic oil package from our friends at Motul. It's an unbelievable prize valued at nearly 14 grand, and it couldn't be easier to enter. All you have to do is go to www.bikesales.com.au, click the MXTV competition banner, enter your details, and you're in the running. The winner will be announced in our final show of the series. But keep watching the show each week to find out how you can win. So what are you waiting for? Head to the bikesales.com.au website, get your entry in, and you could be riding away with this truly incredible prize.
Yes, it's a fantastic prize, so don't be a fool. Get on to bikesales.com.au and get your entries in before it's too late. It may be too late for us. It's just about time for us to go.
Just about is, mate, but don't forget, check mxtv.com.au. I'll see you next week, Lee.
Looking forward to it. On behalf of Brendan Bell, myself, Lee Hogan, and the whole MXTV crew, until next week, make sure that you hold it on.